Hello and welcome back to the training tutorials on how to use Moodle. Once again, we're logged in as the student Mickey Mouse and we're on the Moodle home page. So we're going to scroll down and find the course that we want to participate in today, and that is the Demonstration 101, Dem 101 Moodle course taught by Minnie Mouse, someone whom Mickey apparently already knows. So we're going to click on the title of that course, and that will take us into the course itself in Moodle. Now I want you to notice up in the top that we have that breadcrumb trail we mentioned in the first episode, and it shows that now we are in the course Dem 101. But if we wanted to go back out to the home page, we'd just be one click away. I want you to notice the layout of a default course in Moodle. They're basically laid out chronologically, starting by weeks. So this is week 1, this is week 2, there'll be week 3 down below. Up on top, however, there is what we could call a week 0, or a general block. And that is a block that presents information about the course as a whole. And I'd like you to notice on the top of it that it starts with a news form and a help form. Now that news form is a special type of form. It's not for you to participate or post in. That is actually a resource for your instructor. So any announcement that your instructor wants to post that everyone should read, he or she will post it in that news form. And this form has that special feature that not only is it available when you first log in, but it will also generate an email to each student in the class so that you would receive that email in your University of Providence issued email account, so your uprovidence.edu account. So that's why it's even more important for you to get into the good habit of checking that account frequently, because all official correspondence from here on is going to be issued to that. Important notices from your instructors within Moodle will come to that email account. Important information from the business office at the university, or from financial aid, or from the registrar's office about deadlines for applying for graduation, or when grades are going to be available. That information is all going to be sent to your uprovidence.edu account, so I'll make sure that you check that frequently. The next one, however, is for you. That is a help form, and this is where you would want to post a question that would benefit the entire class. So if it's a general question asking for clarification about a deadline on a paper, or appropriate length, or anything that everyone in the class might benefit from, post it here, because when the instructor answers that question, he or she will be presenting information to everyone. This is not the right forum, underscore not the right forum, to ask about the grade you received on an assignment, for instance. There's a different private way of contacting your instructor, and we will step through that process soon. So if you want to post a question, just add a new discussion topic here and create it, and then watch for your response. So I'm going to use the breadcrumb trail to show you how, even though we're in the help forum, it's very easy to get back out to the outer part of the course by finding the course title and clicking on it up on the top. The next thing I want to point out is that every course in Moodle has a link to a pop-up window of information. And first of all, clicking on that will give you access to these tutorials that we're watching now. But when you're in a Moodle class and you want to brush up on something, you can access them without getting out of Moodle and going to the university website and navigating to those any information page there. This is a quick access to get to them. Below that is a guideline for effective communications, and clicking on that shows you and basically demonstrates how we would expect you to interact and communicate professionally with your instructor and fellow students. And so here are some tips in a bullet form of things to do and not to do, and basic guidelines that would help you to be successful in your university career. And then the last link on this page, which is probably for troubleshooting going to be the most effective one for you to click on is the Distance Learning FAQ, or Frequently Asked Questions. So if you click on that, that will take you to a list of questions that other students have asked that would be a benefit for you to have answers to the questions. So how do distance learning sections work? Here's a section that talks about that. So we'll be visiting this more in one of the later tutorials for a specific example of how helpful these steps are. But I'm going to go ahead and shut that window for now. I did mention that there's a better way to contact your instructor, and the basic contact information should be in the course syllabus. So where your instructor's office is, what your instructor's phone number is, what your instructor's email is. And again, we strongly suggest that you use only the university provided email, which you would access through your Argo mail. However, you can also find out important information about the course. So my recommendation when you're starting a new course, the first thing you should click on when you access it is the course syllabus. Now this is a sample course, so it has a sample syllabus in it. So this is basically just a template. It doesn't have any specific information, but you'll see that every syllabus should contain basic information about the course. It should contain information about what the course is going to convey. It should talk about what your learning objectives are going to be when you complete the course. It should talk about what required texts or recommended materials are, whether they're required or recommended. It should have a breakdown of what the grading requirements are, what the assignments are, what papers you're going to have to do, and what tests you'll have to take, and also what the grading policy is, what constitutes an A, a B, a C. All of that should be spelled out in the syllabus. So this is an important document for you to access anytime you start a course, because it basically is a contract. It's a contract of expectations between you and the instructor. What does the instructor and what does the university expect of you as a student, and what can you expect of the instructor and the university in this learning experience? So the syllabus is going to be basically your reference for how the course is supposed to work, and make sure you understand it before you get started in it. All right, we'll look at the activities in the first week of the course, and basically I'm going to mention that many courses do have directions, which is basically a pop-up page that will tell you what you might be expected to do. However, I'm going to I've already, as Mickey, I've already read that. I see a check mark next to it, so that confirms that I have already opened it and already completed that item. The next item is a forum that I have to participate in. And notice that the icon that shows up in Moodle indicates that this is a discussion, and this is actually an advanced discussion forum type. That's why it has the plus in it. But the icons will indicate what kind of activity or resource it is that you will be accessing as you work through your week. So this one is asking us to post a self-introduction below, telling about our interests, our major. It's a good way to get to know other people in the class, because you're expected to interact and share your understandings as we all move through this as a learning community together. So you post your own submission, and then afterwards you're supposed to respond to at least one or sometimes two other students in the class with a substantive reply, which basically means more than good post or I agree or that's so cool. All right, so I'm going to click to add a new discussion, and I'm going to type my introduction as Mickey. Now I'm going to share a tip with you. In Moodle, you can type your forum post right here. However, if you want to take advantage of the tools that are in a modern word processing program, whether it be Microsoft Word or a Mac program or a free word processing program like LibreOffice, there are spelling check and there are grammar checking tools in those word processing programs that should really help you to avoid making typos and misspellings and grammar mistakes in your posts. So rather than typing it in here, I would recommend that you open up a word processor and that, like Mickey, you compose it and do your checking of grammar here, and then you highlight everything and you copy it to the clipboard, and then you switch back in here, click in the forum post. After you've carefully composed it, you might even save a copy of it on your computer so that you have a record of it as part of a portfolio of everything you've participated in. I'm going to right click here and I'm going to paste, and up comes everything that I created. Now I'm going to actually show you that even though this looks like a pretty plain Jane text box with no tools, I have an option down here. If I don't see any formatting tools, I can click the Advanced Editor. And now that I've turned that on, you'll see a toolbar comes up. And so there's more advanced information here. So I'm going to actually select Anaheim, California, and I'm going to italicize that. And then I'm going to select my major and my minor and make those bold. Basic, WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get editing. And if you need more tools in formatting, that's available by clicking on the expand button here. So we're showing more options here for formatting. We're going to now show fewer options, and those are available again by turning on the advanced editor there. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that forum post. And I'm going to now mention the fact that if you have a question for your instructor that's a private question, you don't want to talk about your grades publicly in the help forum. What you'll want to do is send a message, and you can either send that message individually using Argo Mail, or you can take advantage of a feature in Moodle where if you come over to your class in the menu on the left hand side and you click on the course participants, that will bring up a list of everyone in the class, and you find your instructor. Click on your instructor and that will bring up a brief summary of the profile, and you can click on the message button that you will see right next to the image of your instructor and by her name. So when we click on that, that brings up the built-in Moodle messaging application, which you'll be able to access up on the top next to your profile as well. But here it's pre-addressed to Minnie Mouse, and if I write a message here, I'm asking for a meeting time so that we could call. Since I'm calling from Anaheim, California, I'm going to send that message. Now, if Minnie Mouse happens to be logged in at the moment, this would actually pop up as a new message in her Moodle environment. However, if she happens to be offline, which this indicates that she is, Moodle will actually convert this message into an email, which is sent to her uprovidence.edu email account. So the next time she checks her email, she'll find this message waiting for her. And then she can either reply via email directly to me, or she can come back in and post a response in Moodle. And likewise, if I'm not logged into Moodle when she posts that reply, it'll generate an email into my uprovidence.edu account as well. So this is the private confidential way of interacting with your instructors, that even if you don't know their email and don't want to bother looking it up, you can reach them automatically by coming in to message them from the participants within Moodle. So that wraps up this segment, and we'll go ahead and continue in the third episode.